Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's K-E-S-H-W-A-N-I, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for the GMAT. We have been solving GMAT math problems out of this book here, GMAT Review, the official guide, the 13th edition. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problem that we are about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 287. Please turn to page number 287. Today is our lesson number 186. Problem number 134 is what we are about to solve. The very last problem that you see there on the page. We are given here two candidates, M and N, and we are given three categories. 100 people were surveyed, and they were asked if either they have favorable opinion or not favorable opinion, or they have no opinion, they are not sure yet about a given candidate. There are three categories. And here is how the answers were split. 40 people said favorable for M, 30 for N, 20 said unfavorable for N, and then 35, and then 40, and then 35. The question simply is, how many people said favorable to both? Let's see what they tell us. In the first statement, they tell us that 40 did not respond favorable to either. 40 did not respond favorable to either. Now what is going on here is that because of the nature of the question is such that they are simply asking us how many people said favorable to both, that is all we are interested in. We are simply interested in, as far as we are concerned, we are not interested in three different categories. We are simply interested in either the person is favorable, either the person has favorable opinion of the given candidate or something other than favorable opinion. It is of no interest to us whether the something other is the fact that they have unfavorable opinion, or whether they have not made up their mind yet, whether they are not sure yet. It doesn't matter to us. We are interested in this category and these two categories lumped together, because everything here lumped together, it represents somebody who is in the other category, who does not say yes to a question, do you have favorable opinion? Anybody who does not respond yes to it is in these two categories lumped together, which is exactly what we're going to do here, because that's what we are interested in here. Here we're going to we're going to combine unfavorable and not sure together. Well, I shouldn't say together because we already used the word combine. We're going to combine unfavorable and not sure simply as other. So let's find out what the other falls here. The other would be 20 plus 40 and 35 plus 35. Let's show it in the Venn diagram, shall we? Here is our candidate M, here is our candidate N, and what we are showing here is the other category. Other. How many, in other words, how many people said something other than a yes for M? How many people said something? How many people said something other than yes to M? How many people said something other than yes to M? The answer is 20 plus 40. 60 people said something other than yes to N. How many people said something other than yes for N? Well, that's 35 plus 35, 70. But then, in the first statement, they go on to tell us that 40 of them did not respond favorable to either. In other words, there are 40 people who said something other than favorable for both M and N. And that's our combined area right here. That's our common area right here. And the 40 is going to fall there. 40 is going to fall there. In other words, there were 60 people who said something other than yes for M, out of which 40 also said something other than yes for N. So we cannot double count those people. So this 60 has to convert to 20. Similarly, there were 70 people who said something other than yes for N. And of those 70 people, 40 of them also said something other than yes for M. Therefore, we cannot count those 40 twice. We cannot double count it. So this has become 30. That's it. All we have to do is add them up. So that gives us, where should we do it? 20 plus 40 plus 30, that's 60 plus 90, that's 90. In other words, 90 people. How many people said something other than yes to M? Here we are saying M or N. The answer is 90. If 90 people said something other than yes to a M or N, that implies that 10 must have said favorable to both. Because out of 100, 90 of them said something other than a yes for M or N. There were only 10 people out of 100 who said yes to both of them. Do you have favorable opinion of M? They said, yes, I do. Do you have favorable opinion of N? Yes, I do. Out of 100, there were only 10 such people. That's all. First statement does the job beautifully. First statement is sufficient. Because the first statement is enough by itself, AD, where should we put it? AD, BCE. Because the first statement by itself we just found out is enough, the answer cannot be B, C, or E. It would have to be either A or D. Let's look at second statement. In the second statement, they tell us 10 said unfavorable to both. 10 said unfavorable to both. Okay, ignore this line, circles around it. The problem here is that they're talking about this category, unfavorable to both. So if we were to draw unfavorable here, unfavorable in a Venn diagram for M and N, from this chart we know that 20 people said unfavorable for M, we know that 35 said unfavorable to N, and now we are told that in the common area there are 10 people who said unfavorable to both of these people, which means we cannot double count them, so this 20 becomes 10 and this 35 becomes 25. But it doesn't get us anywhere. All this work was for naught. It doesn't get us anywhere because we know nothing about this category. We know nothing about this category. All this tells us, listen carefully, all this tells us is that 10 plus 10 plus 25 is 45, which tells us that there are 55 people in the survey who said something other than unfavorable for M or N. Those 55 people either said they have favorable opinion or they said they were not sure. But we cannot tell until we find out this category by itself. So the reason why we were able to answer the question why the first statement did provide us sufficient information is because we didn't have to worry about having each of these separately. They had given us how many people had unfavorable opinion right off the bat. They had separated that part for us to begin with. Let's see how they phrase it. I'm looking at it here. It says 40 people did not respond favorable to either. 40 people did not respond favorable to either. So it was very easy to figure out how many did say favorable to both because they were giving us information about the column that we were interested in. Here we are interested in this column, but they're giving us information about only this column. They have told us nothing at all about how many people are not sure. And until we know something about that particular column, we cannot deduce how many people said favorable to both the candidates. Second statement does not do the job. We need to know something about not sure part. We need to know how many said not sure to both of them. And then of course we can combine the Venn diagram and so forth, and eventually we can figure out by some work. But without it we cannot. That's all. Because all we know here is that there are 55 people. One more time I'm repeating here. All we know is that there are 55 people who either fall in this category, favorable category, or not sure category. We don't know what the split is. Right? So the answer is, because the second statement by itself is not enough, the answer is going to be A. The answer is A. Only the first statement by itself was sufficient. Second statement did us no good. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Bye now.